Many of us grew up and we found it hard to express who we were. I found it hard to express who I was. Finding Mark has been a bit of a lifelong process so far. This video is about 3 simple ways in which I have found to find my own voice, my own personality, and show up in the world as me rather than trying to mute myself for other people. My name is Mark. This is the Emotional Alchemist. I help black sheep, empaths, and scapegoats find and recover their true self. That's health, emotional health, and spiritual connection. I heard someone say recently that turning up in the world as an individual, as myself, is one of the hardest things I can do. It's the hardest thing anyone can do. And early on in my childhood, or earlier in my life, stuff went on which made it difficult to find my unique expression of myself. I learned to mute myself. That was extremely painful. Now, let me say number 1. If I can become, and this is what I call emotional alchemy, if I can become aware of everything else that's going on around me, if there are people that aren't very pleased with the way that I want to live my life, or they want to mute me somehow, it's up to me to decide whether or not I'm going to let that happen. But there was always this massive fear about just, if I show up as myself, are people not going to like me? Even worse, are they going to reject me or throw stuff at me? And comments, insults, objects. So can I be aware of all of that that's going on around me at the same time as what's going on in here? Because it's the fear that has prevented me from turning up and saying, my name's Mark, I'm the Emotional Alchemist. I always had it. That was always a weird thing. It didn't start off with that, and this channel didn't start off like that. But the more I can become aware of the fear that's going on inside and the reasons for it, because way back when something happened when I was 6 years old and it was reinforced and then I chose to mute myself, that's emotional alchemy. And doing it in the moment, if I can be aware there's a narcissist shouting at me or whatever it is, it's not a pleasant experience. But the more I can realize that the fear that's triggered in this moment is actually from way back when. So healing that stuff back then, understanding how I felt in the moment when I was 6 years old, helps me heal now, and I can say to the narcissist, not my monkey, not my circus. I like that expression. It's kind of, I can push their craziness back to them, because it's essential. And this is actually point number 3. I'll go with point number 3. It's that idea between spiritual, I was going to say light and dark, that spiritual, non-spiritual. Is there like darkness, and is there, what I'm trying to say, I have light and dark in me. Previously in my life, I've just tried to embody the light. When that happens, I kind of pushing away the darkness. And in order to do that, I have to deny certain things that cause the darkness in the first place. I think everybody gets born into the world as a little baby and they're perfect. Then they get given baggage from whoever's around. So the more I can be aware of those experiences that I've had and how people these days can manipulate, and we see this, you see it in newspapers and on the news, and it's like fear is used to manipulate others into doing what they want. Whoever they are. But if there's people that come to mind when I'm saying this, then you probably know who they are in your life. If I can, again, heal those experiences, that means I don't have to react in the moment when someone says something to me. It could be a guy in a shop, it could be anything, or it could be someone from way back when. I've had some really not so pleasant experiences with people from way back when recently. And the more I can just detach, actually be aware of the emotion that comes up in me, because this is why point number 1 and 3 are so linked. They manipulate through my own darkness, through your own darkness. And the more we can transmute that, heal the fear and the shame, or the experiences that caused fear and shame, and understand that I can transmute anything in the moment. If when the fear comes up, it may be valid, it's there for a reason. Either it's telling me to step out the way of the truck that's coming towards me and the fear is genuine, or it's reminding me of an experience I had early on that needs to be healed. Right, I'm going back to point 2 now. You know my videos are imperfect, right? The point 2 is I can keep my sanity, and actually this is a way I've found when dealing with those people that are narcissists or sociopaths or psychopaths. I get the DSM manual. It's a medical, or it's a psychological book, which is, and I look it up online, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5. It basically lists out loads of mental disorders. Now it's got narcissist and sociopath, and they're the same thing now, but and psychopath. So if you think that somebody is displaying characteristics of that type of personality disorder, to get sanity, write down what they do, keep a list. And it's like, because they're effectively a list of triggers. And then if they fit within the, let's say, the narcissist diagnosis, then you know that you're dealing with someone who relies on making you crazy in order to get their power. It's not that you're going to tell them, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can observe, because so often as scapegoats, we are made to feel that we're the crazy ones. So write the stuff down. Check it out. Do they fulfill the criteria? And it's like, okay. And when it comes up, remember those triggers. Be aware of the feeling that comes up. Because ultimately, narcissists are there for your spiritual growth, for your emotional growth. And it feels like hell. But in my experience, I wouldn't want to feel that hell myself. I don't volunteer for it. So I wouldn't grow as fast. So I'm like, can I be grateful to the narcissist? That's something to think about. My name's Mark, this is the Emotional Alchemist. I make videos based on my own experience because it unblocks my throat chakra. The more I do it, I find more me. It's like medicine. Recovering from Hashimoto's autoimmune disease in the thyroid. It's these videos, they help me when I make them, and you tell me that they help you too, and so that's like double winner. If you want to see more videos like this, and if you want to see a playlist to find out more traits on scapegoats and narcissists, click this here. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the little subscribe button here and the bell icon, and you'll be notified. Thanks for watching.